You are about to witness the reverse engineering of Noah's flood. This is the only possible mechanism capable of explaining a global flood that literally covered Everest by 15 cubits, the equivalent of 7 meters. Today, there is not even an alternative possibility capable of explaining a flood of this magnitude other than a reduction in the planet's diameter and surface area. Now, moving from the past to the present day, the only way for the continents to emerge from this great flood is by expanding the Earth's ocean floor. This interpretation fits perfectly with the available evidence. In other words, our planet necessarily expanded and the continents emerged from the waters of the flood. In this video, I will validate the hypothesis of this global catastrophe with simple mathematical equations, where I correlate the volume of the oceans, the radius, and the surface area of the planet. Follow along. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high mountains that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits higher did the waters prevail. Genesis 7:19 through 20. From now on, the biblical quote we just heard will be assumed to be true. This is necessary for us to reject or validate the flood hypothesis. The implicit statement in the testimony we will verify is this: the volume of the oceans covered Everest by 7 meters. We will begin with the possibility of the flood on the current surface of our planet. These are the data necessary for verification: the volume of the oceans, the height of Everest, and the surface area of the Earth. Multiplying the surface of the planet by the height of Everest and dividing by the current volume of the oceans, we obtain the value of 3.4. We would need 3.4 times the volume of the oceans to reach Mount Everest. We can already rule out the possibility of this global flood occurring on the planet's current surface. I should point out at this point that I know of two predominant theories among creationists to explain the flood on the planet's current surface: Dr. Brown's hydroplate theory and the isostasy subsidence theory. I intend to demonstrate the refutation of both at a later date. The last remaining possibility is the hypothetical surface. In this case, we will reduce the planet's surface to fit the biblical flood. To do this, simply divide the volume of the oceans by the height of Everest plus 7 meters, as stated in the biblical account. The result is approximately 150 million kilometers squared. Not coincidentally, this result bears a remarkable resemblance to the continental surface area of 149 million kilometers. A correspondence greater than 99% between the values cannot be explained without the expansion of the planet. In case you haven't noticed, the fact that the hypothetical flood surface is equivalent to the actual area of the continents validates the flood and Earth's expansion hypotheses, in addition to attesting to their historical record. We can safely conclude that a global flood followed by the expansion of the planet will be consistent with mathematical modeling and empirical modeling. To demonstrate the mathematical modeling, we will find the radii of both reduced spheres, the radius of the hypothetical flood surface, and also the radius of the continental surface, which is the total surface of the planet subtracted from the ocean surface. The radii obtained should be equivalent to the previous ones with more than 99% accuracy. There are two approaches to the hypothetical flood radius. The simplest and least accurate is the equation for the area of the sphere. The most laborious and accurate is the equation for the volume of the sphere. Only two pieces of data are needed for both equations, the volume of the oceans and the height of Everest. This is the less precise equation for the area of a sphere. Area of the sphere equals 4 times pi times the radius squared. Before isolating the radius, we need to add the height of Everest to both sides of the equation. Note that the left side of the equation is equivalent to the volume of the oceans. Now we can isolate the radius and obtain its approximate value of 3,460 kilometers. To increase the precision of this value, we will use a more elaborate equation, which resulted in a quadratic equation where its starting point is total volume equals the volume of the Earth plus the volume of the oceans. And when expanded, it takes the following form, where E represents the height of Everest and V the volume of the oceans. The radius value obtained is 3,455 kilometers.
Now, we'll find the radius of the reduced sphere formed by the continental surface, which is equivalent to the total surface area of the planet minus the ocean surface. To do this, we'll use the equation for the area of a sphere. Isolating the radius in the equation and inserting the continental area of 149 million square kilometers, we obtain a value of 3,444 kilometers. Comparing the radii of the reduced spheres, we obtain an approximation greater than 99%, as expected. Interestingly, the radius found in the reduced spheres coincides perfectly with the Gutenberg discontinuity between the planet's mantle and core. However, this is a specific topic that deserves to be addressed separately. I've attached some articles and lectures on the theory of Earth's expansion to my channel and in the description of this video as reinforcement. Unfortunately, most articles on Earth's expansion will be adapted to long naturalistic ages, as they are predominantly fueled by these. But don't worry, the evidence favors us far more than them. So please like, comment, and share. Financial contributions are greatly appreciated. vestigioedenico@gmail.com. Thank you.